What's up, everybody? Cole from Geek Life Gaming, and we are back with another Vanguard deck profile. Today, we are looking at Gear Chronicle. This is a deck that, as far as its competitive viability, not that competitively viable. We'll get into that in a minute. However, it is still a very, very fun deck to play. And I also understand why in the V Standard reboot, they did not make Gear Chronicle overly powerful, because towards the end of G, Gear Chronicle was one of the most driving forces behind the competitive scene. So it does a lot of stuff different, but also a lot of stuff the same as the original Gear Chronicle. So we will get right into the deck profile. We have Primordial Draco Kid as our starting. When rode upon, draw a card. I don't think they had any other choice for a starting Vanguard other than Primordial Draco Kid. We have the 4 heal triggers. And we are running 6 draw triggers because we want to try to have as big of a hand as possible. So we are running the 4 perfect guards, Steam Guard, Castilla, and then we are running 2 of the Roly-Poly Worker. We are running 6 criticals, 3 of each, because I wanted to run 3 of each instead of 4 and 2. And that is the grade 0 lineup. Next up, for our grade 1s, we are running 4 Wedge Move, which is a very good ride. As a Vanguard ride in general, but if you have to go second, Wedge Move is a very good ride, because when its attack hits, doesn't have to hit a Vanguard, just hits, you may bind a card from your hand and draw a card. So he is good for a first turn bind of a high grade unit that you have in your hand that you may not need, or if he only really works, as far as his Vanguard ability, he only works on the turn he is your Vanguard. And then after that, his most useful function is while he's in the hand, and it's when this card would be discarded, it may be discarded as a grade 3. So that'll kick off with our only grade 3 in the deck. Next up, we are running 4 Quickie Worker. She helps to recycle our higher grade 3s and 4s that get retired, or if we have to discard them for our perfect guards or discard them for any other reason, she helps recycle those back into the deck. And then for a Soul Blast 2, you get a draw card. 2 of the Steam Fighter Mamene. She's good for a decent draw. So when your Vanguard is placed, you draw a card and discard a card, and if the discarded card was grade 3 or greater, 3 of your units get plus 5,000 power until end of turn. She's not too bad, but she's mainly in here for her draw and her ability to hopefully add a small boost to the rest of our units, because she is only a 6k attacker or booster. 3 Steam Skara Kalane, when it boosts, you Soul Blast 1 until end of that battle. Your opponents cannot intercept and can only call up to 3 Guardians. At the end of that battle, bind this unit. So he is a self-binder, and so in the early game, he's not going to matter too much. But in the late game, when you start swinging for very, very big stacks, this is when he is the most useful. And that is all of the grade 1s. Now for our grade 2s. Arguably, I think he's the best, but that could be up for debate to other people who play the deck. Lost Break Dragon. On Vanguard or Rearguard, when placed from hand, bind a card from your hand and draw a card. So he is a very good early ride as well, because if you have any extra 3 or 4s in your hand that you don't need and you know you're not going to need, you can bind it, add more to your bind zone, and then you get a card off of it. And then on the rear guard during your turn, if your bind zone has a face-up card, he gets plus 3,000 power. 3, Steam Mechanic Nabu. When it attacks a Vanguard, bind a card from your drop zone, and your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater cards from their hand until end of that battle. At the end of that battle, put this unit into your soul and draw a card. So she puts herself into the soul, which is very good with our quickie worker who likes to soul blast to draw a card if we put in our grade 3s or grade 4s from the drop zone. So she's adding more to our soul. And then we are running 3 Steam Hunter Lippet. On rear guard, when placed from hand, bind a card from your drop zone, and this unit gets plus 3,000 power until the end of the turn. So she is also will fill up our bind zone with higher grade cards. And that is all the grade 2s we are running. For our only grade 3, we are running 4 copies of Interdimensional Dragon Knight Lost Legend. When he's on the Vanguard, you discard cards with the sum of their grades being 3 or greater from your hand. You search your deck for a grade 4 card, ride it as stand, shuffle your deck, and at the end of this turn, you return that unit and ride a grade 3, retire that unit and ride a grade 3 from your soul as rest. So it's the stride mechanic from G. You discard cards with grade 3 or greater, you ride a grade 4, at the end of the turn, you get rid of it. However, with Lost Legends ability, you ride that grade 3 from your soul instead. And so on your first turn, you're getting 2 force markers if you have enough in your bind zone to want to go into grade 4. Ride Lost Legend, get a force marker, use its skill, grab your grade 4, attack, end of the turn, retire the grade 4, ride Lost Legend as rest, get another force marker. And then auto, when rode upon, Counterblast 2 and draw a card. So not too much in the deck uses Counterblast, so you can freely use Lost Legend's draw skill as many times as you need. And now for our grade 4 lineup. I have 2 more copies of this, but right now I am only running the 2 Interdimensional Dragon, Idealized Dragon. When placed, you activate all of these effects below according to the sum, according to the sum of the grades of the cards that are face up in your bind zone. 1 or more, your opponent chooses one of their rear guards and puts it on the bottom of their deck. 5 or more, you call the top card of your deck to rear guard. 11 or more, call 2 cards from your drop zone to rear guard, and 3 of your rear guards get plus 5,000 power, until the end of the turn. So, Idealize, he's good, but the reason I only run him at 2 is because I'm losing stuff from the top of the deck. He's a very good first target, but then once you get to some higher numbers in your bind zone, you're going to be wanting to stride, basically, the other grade 4 that is in the deck. And that would be 4 copies of Interdimensional Dragon, Mystery Flare Dragon. When placed, so same thing, when he's placed, activate all of the effects below in order according to the number of cards that are face up in your bind zone, or the sum of the grades of the cards that are face up in your bind zone. 3 or more, he gets an additional drive. So yay, triple drive, that comes back. 7 or more, an additional critical. 13 or more, 6 of your units get plus 10,000 power until the end of the turn. And then 19 or more, at the end of this turn, discard all of the cards from your hand, and you get an additional turn. So yay, they're taking more turns again if you can get to that 19. I have only actually taken 2 extra turns since playing this deck. because everything either goes wonderfully right, at least in my experience with Gear Chronicle, everything either goes wonderfully right or horribly wrong, and by the time I get to my grade 3, I have like a total of grade 2, a sum total of grade 2 in my bind zone. So it is a very fun deck to play. I played it at a tournament just because I wanted to have fun, not because I was planning on winning, and I did have fun, but I also came in last place. So at least with Gear Chronicle as they are right now, I do not believe they are a very competitively viable deck. However, there is a promo that if we can get it, will help it a little bit, but still might not make it game breaking. However, if you do like Gear Chronicle, it's still a very fun deck if you just want to play with friends and not be serious about it. Once again, this has been Cole from Geek Life Gaming, and we'll see you next time.